Hey folks, welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm gonna share a few tips on how to better your app icon design. So let's get started. So I'll be switching between the main camera and the monitor camera, which is on my left. So going to the desktop. So first point is simplicity. What does simplicity mean? You have to convey one idea in your app. That's it. You should not convey anything else. It could be abstract, which means that it does not have to be directly relatable to what you're actually doing, or it can be directly relatable. Instagram is a directly relatable. Basically, it has a camera icon in it, which signifies that it has something to do with photography or something like that. Spotify, although it does not have a music icon in it, everyone recognizes Spotify as a music app, right? So that is an abstract concept. Look at these examples. Identify which is a simple app, which is not a simple app. You have 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, the first icon, it's not clear what it does. So I can see that there is a 3D circle, heart. It's not clear. It's either abstract or it's not relatable. The third app, it looks something like tattoo design or something like that. It could be related to tattoo design, which is great. Maybe it is directly related to that. But I think it's a journal app. When I downloaded, it's a journal app. And the fifth icon, although there is an humanize AI written over the app icon itself, which is not recommended by the way, it is still not clear how it is related to humanize AI. Like, what does this icon even mean? I can see that there's a check mark there. There is a negative space here. There are a lot of things going on here, which is very confusing. Same thing, same issue with the first icon and same issue with the third icon. Compare that with second, fourth, and sixth icon. This is a habit tracker which I have built, although it does not relate directly to the habit tracking, but it just conveys one simple idea. And same thing goes with fourth and sixth. So keep it simple, keep one message or one idea. Second point, scalability. So whenever you're designing an app, right, you should always ensure that the app is scalable. So what I mean by that, uh, if you shrink it, and if you shrink it to the smallest pixel, let's just say 12 by 12 pixel, the app icon should have at least good design which shows whatever it is built upon. So what I mean by that is, second point, scalability. So what does scalability mean? If I shrink the app size, right, we have these many sizes for iPhone and Play Store. You can see that the app icon is 1024 by 1024, and for Play Store it is 96 by 96. And then you also have small icon size, for example 60px, 40px, 29px. You don't have to set these icon sizes. iOS and Play Store, Android automatically does this. But when you shrink your app size from this to this, right, whatever the design you have, it should still maintain its integrity, right? It should, details should not get lost. Although smaller size, some details might get lost, but at least it should maintain that essence. I'll share an example or a file in which you can actually test your app icon. This is a free Figma file, and I'll put the file link in the description. So what you can do is you can go to this file, you can copy and paste your icon here. You just have to paste it here, and you can actually see how your app icon will look among other icons, right? And you can see how it will look on App Store page. You can also see how it will look as a notification icon. So you can see these are all different sizes, right? Your app icon should maintain that integrity in all different sizes. So I'll share this Figma link with you guys, and yeah, so this is that page, app icon toolkit. This is the Figma file. I'll add this link in the description. Shout out to Ryan Yo for designing this. Third point, avoiding generic shapes. When you are creating a logo, your first natural instinct, let's just say you're creating a to-do app, your first natural instinct would be to create a check mark as a logo. Please don't do that. When you are, or at least if you're doing that, try to make it as unique as possible. I'll share an example. So when I search for check mark app icon, this is what I got. If your logo looks like this, then I'm sorry to say, your app will not stand out. It will just not. You have to forget about even app even getting a lot of impressions or downloads, right? Same thing goes for workout trackers. So if you put any of one of these as your logos, right, it will not stand out. There's nothing unique about your app icon. It will just look like any other workout tracking app, unless you have good distribution where people actually search for your app name. Organic search would be impossible with app icons like this. And the recent trend I've seen is a lot of calorie tracking apps, right? They're using Apple as the logo, and then you're using AI inside it or something like that. I think it is based on Cali AI, which was the first one to do it, and literally everyone is copying that. So avoid generic usage of logos, and I'll also share how you can create your own unique logo in the next point. But just remember that if you are doing some research on your logo ideas, see what are your competitors doing, and generally avoid trying to do that. Fourth point, what are your app's core values? What I mean by this, so what does your app actually represent? What are your USPs? Like, what do you want the user to feel when they are using your app? Do you want them to feel happy? Do you want them to feel relaxed? Do you want them to enjoy? Do you want them to, get entertained? What is your core values? So you need to create a list of core values, and you need to design your app based on those core values. One example I would say is Apple. So the earlier version of Apple, so this was the first version of Apple logo, where you had Sir Isaac Newton sitting under a tree and the apple falling on his head. So this was the concept was, uh, apple is a fruit of knowledge, because of that the concept of gravity was born. But they simplified this logo to this. So what does this symbolize? They did not change the essence of what they had earlier, but they just modified it, and they kept the simplicity factor, and they also kept the scalability, and they also made it very unique, right? And the byte here represents any user using the Apple product is consuming in the knowledge through that byte. So that is the thought process behind the Apple logo. So this is a value, right? You don't need to have hundreds of values. You can just have like one single value, and you need to communicate that. If you can do that, then your app will be like really, really unique. I'll share one more example. So Duolingo. When I see this app, I feel it's fun, quirky, cute. Same thing with this is a rice app. I don't know what it does, but when I see this app, then I know that it's something related. It's very positive, energetic, warm. This is voice related, modern, serious. This is a fitness tracker because I can see that there is a Fitify written here. But if it was not written, then I would have assumed that it's a dance based app or something like that. There's no unique factor to that. It's generic. So this is a bad example of a app icon. So don't do that. Keep the branding consistent. So what I mean by this, if you're using a single color, right? Let's just take an example of Headspace. Orange is the primary brand color. Your app screenshot, your app UI, your website, your marketing collaterals should have all of them should have this consistent branding to them. If you don't, then the branding will feel off. The branding will feel amateurish. So ensure you have a primary color palette, and you just follow that consistency across everything. Every screenshot you add, every collateral you make, do that. So you're looking at Headspace website, you can see that the graphics they create also have that orange feel to them whenever they are trying to build collateral. Finally, we are in this. So what is SSUVC? So whatever we have learned so far: simplicity, scalability, uniqueness, like basically avoiding generic concept. What are your app value? And C is consistency. So let's just see a few examples and score them. So these are a few examples. Maybe we will pick three here. So I'll pick first one as Airbnb. Scoring on simplicity, 5 out of 5. So this all the scoring is out of 5. And what I mean by simplicity is any symbol you can draw by hand, right? It means that it has good simplicity value to it. And obviously you can draw this easily by hand. So simplicity is 5. Scalability, so if I shrink it to 12 by 12 pixels, or if I make it big, the integrity of that shape will remain. So it has good scalability factor. Uniqueness, I would say 3, because there are a lot of concepts like this, but since Airbnb has like bigger marketing budget, I guess they could emphasize that this is their shape. So uniqueness, I would say 3. Values, when I say values, thought process behind the logo itself, right? So I can clearly see the A. I can see a human here, who's forming a connection. So I think when I did some band research, this is was their thought process. There is also a GPS pin here, which represents travel, location, and all that stuff. So it has good values to it. So I would give it 4.5. And consistency, of course, Airbnb being a big brand, it will ensure that it has a consistent branding. Clash Royales. Simplicity definitely too. It is not a simple app, but it does not have to be. Like you don't have to be simple because this is a gaming app. You want to show your characters, you want to show the energy of the app, so it is perfectly fine. Scalability, if you shrink it, the details will get lost. Maybe it will look like a couple of characters, so that is why I'm giving it 2. I'm assuming that your app is not a gaming app. Your app might be like a proper app or a productive app, reference app, or anything like that. So, just for an example, I'm showing this. Uniqueness, I would say 5 because I don't know if I would give it 5. Maybe I would give it 4 because I see a lot of concepts like this. So, it's definitely not very unique, but I think it's unique for this app developer. Values, I would still say 4 because it is conveying the right emotion for a gamer. I'm not the target audience for this. Maybe some younger school kids, college kids, they might be the target audience and they might love something like this. Consistency, obviously, if you look at this, they have this blue red tone, the characters, so everything will be consistent. It's a big app, so it will be consistent. So the scoring of 18 out of 25, it's not bad for the gaming thing. And this is my app. So simplicity again 4, scalability 4, uniqueness. This is a habit tracker app. All right. If you search for a habit tracker, you will get a lot of apps which have that check mark icon, which have that GitHub style grids. I wanted to create my app to be. I wanted my app icon to be a little bit unique in the sense that when if someone search for habit tracker, at least my app icon will look different, and that is where I'm giving a score of 3 out of 5 for this. And it is also named Cabot, so it's a combination of carrot plus habit, Cabot. And then values, I wouldn't say there's not enough values. It's just that I really felt that completing an habit feels like eating a carrot, right? It's like vegetable. No one wants to eat a vegetable, but you are eating it, you are finishing it. So that was the rough uh, thought process I had. So that is why it is a bad thought process. I know that is the reason I've given it 1. And then you have consistency. So if you look at the app UI, what I've designed, the screenshots, everything is like very consistent in terms of the colors, in terms of whites we have used. So it's very consistent. So my total score comes around 16 to 25. It's not a perfect score. A lot of room for improvement, especially in the values area. I'll show you the scoring metric. Take your app design, score it with these metrics: simplicity, scalability, uniqueness, values, and consistency, and see what score you get. If you get less than 10, don't use that design, right? If you get somewhere between 10 to 15, then you know what areas you need to improve. So I definitely know I need to improve on values, so I need to work on that. So if I increase it by 2 points and if I increase the uniqueness by 1 point, then I can easily reach 19-20 zone, so which will be good enough, right? And if it's 15 to 20, it is not bad, not good either. So if you are between 15 to 20 range, I would say that you are good to go. You can use that as an